This is Last Week in AI, a not replaced yet show. My name's Nick, and each day my brother Jesse and I break down the AI news that you need to know. This show brings you the best of the week. First, a rundown of the top headlines from each day. Then, we dive deeper into the biggest stories and share our own take on what really matters. So make sure to stick around to the end. In under 30 minutes, you'll be caught up and ready to be your local AI expert. Let's get into it.
Monday.
Welcome to this week's Last Week in AI. This is the show where we run down all the top AI stories each day of the week. Today is Monday, May 5th. And the AI healthcare race just got a boost from the University of Virginia. Engineers there have developed a tool called Deep Kinome, which uses deep learning to rapidly identify potential drug treatments by predicting how enzymes respond to different compounds. Early tests are promising, and researchers say this could slash years off the typical drug discovery timeline.
In other news, the push for AI education is picking up steam too. This is something I'm very passionate about. Axios reports that over 200 CEOs signed a letter urging schools to make AI and computer science mandatory for all high schoolers. Their pitch: if the U.S. wants to stay competitive in the AI economy, we need to train the next generation now.
And staying competitive is top of mind in DC, where lawmakers are targeting AI chip smuggling. Reuters broke the story this morning. A new bill from Rep. Bill Foster would require tracking and location verification for Nvidia chips. These chips, banned from export to China, are still finding their way into Chinese military and AGI projects. The bill has bipartisan support and would even block chips from booting up if they're not properly licensed.
That bill actually comes at the same time as energy giants shift towards AI too. At Honeywell's Future of Energy Summit, execs from Exxon and others say they're automating everything from accounting to predictive maintenance. One stat from Honeywell survey: 85% of energy firms are already piloting AI and 53% are using it to deal with labor shortages.
And in other news, Anthropic is going open source with conditions. They just launched a new program to support researchers using Claude for scientific discovery. Think chemistry, biology, climate science, not just code completion.
I mean, OpenAI has been in the news about their open source initiatives too. Right now, their governance drama just took a sharp turn after months of controversy. TechCrunch reports they're walking back plans to limit their nonprofit's power. OpenAI's nonprofit board, which was at the heart of the Sam Altman controversy a little over a year ago, will stay in control even as the company transitions to a public benefit corporation. Sam Altman, current CEO, says it's all about making sure AGI serves humanity, not just shareholders.
And finally, a quick one for gamers and model trainers out there. Gemini just beat Pokémon Blue. Google's AI finished the whole game with a little help from tool use and memory recall. It's a fun demo, sure, but also a serious flex from model agents that can reason, plan, and act across long sequences. If you find this useful, we would love your help. Please think of a family member, a friend, a colleague, and share this with them. Thanks so much.
Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday, May 6th, and OpenAI is on the move again, this time buying WindSurf. Computer World reports that the $3 billion acquisition will bring the AI coding tool into OpenAI's suite, bolstering its appeal to developers. WindSurf has gained traction for helping engineers write and debug code using natural language. This marks OpenAI's biggest acquisition since 2023.
Not to be outdone, Amazon is building its own AI agent called Kyro. Kyro? I think it's Kyro.
Not sure.
Business Insider says Kyro can analyze a developer's prompt and existing code base, then generate new code in real time, even suggesting improvements. It's part of a broader shift across tech giants to embed AI deeper into software development.
And IBM CEO Arvind Krishna is taking a different angle. In a talk yesterday, he argued the future isn't in giant models, but in smaller domain-specific ones. Computer World covered the story. Krishna says these focused models are cheaper, faster, and safer, especially when deployed on edge networks like 5G and Wi-Fi. Expect IBM to double down on that play this year.
And that smaller model trend might hit biology next. TechCrunch previewed a new tool from startup FutureHouse aimed at using AI to help biologists discover treatments. Instead of just generating hypotheses, the tool uses simulation and structured reasoning to help teams test and validate ideas faster than traditional wet lab methods.
And that's not the only AI health crossover making waves. NewLimit, a company co-founded by Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, just raised $130 million to pursue age-reversing therapies. Their approach combines epigenetics with AI-driven prediction models to reprogram human cells. It's a long bet, but one investors seem eager to place.
In other news, Axios is spotlighting AI's next frontier, education. A new initiative from Heartland Forward and edtech firm Stimuli is bringing gamified AI learning to schools across the U.S. heartland. The goal is to give students and entrepreneurs hands-on experience with AI, especially in those underserved regions.
On the defense side, Anduril is tackling a tough one, real-time AI on the battlefield. According to TechCrunch, their newest systems are being designed to process visual data at the edge. No cloud, no delay. The aim is to help military operators make decisions in milliseconds using autonomous sensors and drones that can reason on the fly.
Oh, Palmer Lucky.
Oh boy.
To close us out, Scientific American is asking a big one. Could AI really kill off all humans? The article dives into the existential risk, arguing that while extinction by AI is not likely tomorrow, dismissing it outright is a mistake. They explore the limits of current models, the math behind runway. I'm using my tool set. Runaway AI, and why some researchers are pushing for pause.
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, May 7th, and let's begin with a major move from the U.S. government. The FDA is going all in on AI, announcing that all centers will integrate generative AI tools internally by June 30th. The agency says this will speed up drug approvals by offloading repetitive tasks and allowing scientists to focus on real science. The pilot program showed enough success that full deployment starts immediately. And according to Wired, the FDA has even met with OpenAI and Elon Musk's government team.
Meanwhile, President Trump is rolling back Biden-era export restrictions on advanced AI tech. The move, which rescinds what was known as the AI diffusion rule, could be a win for chip makers like Nvidia, who've been limited in their ability to sell overseas. Critics say it opens the door for China to access cutting-edge models, while supporters argue it restores competitive freedom.
And Yale's Digital Ethics Center is stepping in where Congress hasn't. With no federal AI laws in place, states are taking matters into their own hands, and Yale is helping them write legislation that balances innovation with ethics. It's an unusual role for an academic center, but one that could shape how AI policy is made from the ground up. Their biggest concern, making sure the future isn't dictated by either corporate profit or political inertia.
In other news, a new report reveals that OpenAI expects to cut the amount of revenue it pays Microsoft by 2030. We'll see how Microsoft feels about that. Right now, every time you use ChatGPT or make an API call through OpenAI's models, OpenAI gives a cut to Microsoft, who hosts their models on Azure. But over the next 5 years, OpenAI is planning to build out its own infrastructure and reduce its reliance.
And Meta has launched a new AI tool that creates video ads automatically. It lets businesses quickly generate different versions of an ad based on things like age, interests, or location. Meta says it helps make ads more relevant and saves time for advertisers. But as AI becomes more involved in content creation, some experts are raising concerns about how personalized ads could be used and where the limits should be.
And finally, IBM says, forget prompts, code your AI instead. At its Think 2025 conference, IBM unveiled a new system called Generative Computing. Instead of relying on vague prompts, developers define AI behavior through structured, rule-based programming. The result? Smaller models that perform like giants, better security, and more predictable results. They even demoed quantum computing breakthroughs, simulating molecules that classical computers couldn't touch. IBM says this is the start of a new era, one that fuses AI, HPC, and quantum into a single platform. And unlike some hype cycles, and this is IBM's stance, these systems actually work. We'll see how that goes.
Thursday.
Today is Thursday, May 8th, and we start on Capitol Hill, where top tech leaders laid out their AI wish list to Congress. CEOs from OpenAI, Microsoft, AMD, and CoreWeave told senators that America's lead in AI is at risk without serious investment in its infrastructure. They pushed for better export policies, more data centers, and even workforce training, calling AI a national priority in the face of China's growing presence. Microsoft President Brad Smith said it bluntly: the number one factor in this race is whose technology gets adopted globally. And with China's DeepSeek offering a powerful, cheaper model, the stakes are only getting higher.
Yeah, that message lines up with the new push from OpenAI to partner with governments. OpenAI is launching a global program to help countries build their own AI infrastructure with a focus on democratic values. They're not just thinking about compute, but also education and public services, starting with health and learning applications. Sam Altman called it a way to align national priorities with the AI era as nations scramble to catch up with the tech. From government to military now, the U.S. Marine Corps has published its official AI roadmap. The document outlines key priorities like smarter logistics, autonomous systems, and battlefield decision support tools. It also lays out timelines and benchmarks to track progress. The takeaway, the U.S. military isn't waiting for the perfect AI, it's building it into operations right now.
And let's shift into the private sector now. Amazon just unveiled warehouse robots with a sense of touch. The robot named Digit can feel objects using sensors in its fingers, allowing it to move more like a human and less like a forklift. Amazon said this could improve efficiency, reduce injuries in its fulfillment centers, but it also signals the company's deeper investment in AI-powered automation.
Yeah, and one quick heads up for chatbot users, a new study says shorter prompts can lead to more hallucinations. Researchers found that when people ask for super short answers, like a few words or a sentence, language models are more likely to invent facts. It's a reminder that prompt quality and answer length aren't just preferences, they can shape the accuracy of what you get.
Friday.
Today is Friday, May 9th, and in Arizona, a groundbreaking use of AI occurred in the courtroom. The family of Christopher Pelkey, a road rage victim, created an AI-generated video of him addressing his killer during sentencing. This marked the first known instance of an AI-generated victim impact statement in a U.S. court. The emotional video contributed to the judge imposing the maximum sentence of 10 and a half years. Legal experts are now debating the ethical implications of such AI use in legal proceedings.
Yeah, so interesting. Meanwhile, researchers at Mass General Brigham have developed an AI tool called FaceAge. I don't know if I want to use this myself. This tool analyzes facial features to estimate a patient's biological age, providing insights into their health status. In a study involving cancer patients, those with a higher biological age than their chronological age had poorer survival outcomes. FaceAge could become a valuable asset in tailoring treatment plans. And if you're someone interested in the topic of biological age, consider looking into the work by David Sinclair and Tally Health.
Turning to cybersecurity, the firm CrowdStrike announced it will cut 5% of its workforce, approximately 500 jobs. The company cites increased efficiencies from AI as a primary reason for the layoffs. This decision comes despite a 25% year-over-year revenue increase. Critics argue that attributing layoffs to AI advancements may be a strategy to appease investors. And it comes not long after a CrowdStrike outage left hundreds of clients without endpoint protection, raising questions about the trade-offs of automation.
In Central Florida, the job market is evolving beyond its traditional tourism base. The region is experiencing growth in AI and simulation industries, diversifying employment opportunities. Orlando, in particular, has become a national hub for simulation training used by the military, healthcare, and aviation sectors, now increasingly enhanced by AI. This shift is attracting tech companies, boosting average wages, and fostering a more resilient, future ready economy.
And a new report indicates that AI budgets across industries have doubled. The surge is driven by the rapid adoption of generative AI technologies as companies invest heavily to integrate AI into their operations.
In the construction sector, AI is making significant inroads. Companies are leveraging AI for project planning, risk assessment, and resource management, leading to increased efficiency and cost savings. Tools like autonomous drones and 3D modeling systems powered by AI are being used to monitor job sites, detect hazards in real time, and forecast material needs with greater accuracy. Industry leaders say these advancements are helping projects stay on schedule and within budget, even amid ongoing labor shortages.
Lastly, in manufacturing, AI's limitations are becoming apparent. While AI excels in data analysis, it struggles with complex tasks in materials manufacturing, such as semiconductor production. Human oversight and expertise continue to be essential in these areas. Hey everyone, Nick here. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's Last Week in AI. At this point, we would normally share our take, but this week went a little differently. A good friend sent us a question about Meta's new generative AI ad tools. And we ended up recording over an hour and a half conversation on Thursday and Friday about the future of marketing in relationship to generative AI. If you want to listen to that, you can check out our lives from May 8th and May 9th. But it didn't quite fit for this show. So we will be back next week with our usual breakdown. Again, thank you so much for getting this far. And if you like this content, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, if you know someone who would benefit from this type of content, please, please, please share it with them. See you next week.